So welcome you all for Tungala online classes. We have started the chapter electromagnetic induction. In that electromagnetic induction last class we completed. So expression for the motional EMF, then energy consideration. So next today topic we will discuss is that is regarding eddy currents. So eddy currents, another important question for 3 marks. What is the question they will ask is, what is eddy current? What are the drawbacks or limit? What are the disadvantages with this eddy current? How this eddy current can be minimized? And what are the advantages of this eddy currents? So what is electromagnetic induction? Electromagnetic induction, first definition for EMI, eddy current. So whenever a magnetic field linked with a coil is going to be changed, then current will be induced in that coil. A coil is a simple conductor, a closed path for the flow of current. Okay, Nara? So that is for electromagnetic induction definition. So actually whenever if we consider external magnetic field, this is let me call north pole, here let me call south pole. In this external uniform magnetic field, so let me consider one copper plate. What I consider one copper plate. The copper plate is fixed from this, and I allow to oscillate that copper plate between the magnetic poles. So copper plate is nothing but here a bulk matter of conductor. So a bulk matter of conductor. What is the difference between EMI and eddy current? So whenever a simple closed loop, if the magnetic field is changing, the current will flow either clockwise or anti-clockwise. Whenever a bulk conductor subjected to change in magnetic flux, the current which is induces like whirlpools of water. So generally you know, if you put a stone in a water, so water whirlpool will be generated. These are called as whirlpools, or these are also called as eddies current. Eddies, so water eddies. These whirlpools, like what is a path following the water molecules, like in washing machine the name given whirlpool, that is pooling of water. So these are also called as the same pattern. Whenever a bulk conductor subjected to change in magnetic field, then what happens? The current will flow like eddies, like pools in a water. Like how does the water will move? Like the current will flow in this pool like eddies, like eddies. So that current only called as what? Eddy current. Are you getting the difference? Till now we studied about this. Now we are studying for this. What is the major difference is, here only a conductor, here a bulk conductor. Here the path followed will be either clockwise or anti-clockwise. Here path will be like a eddies in water. So that's why this current is called as eddy current. This eddy current is discovered by the scientist Foucault. So that's why this current is also called as Foucault current. You have to get a clear definition for eddy current. So what is the definition for eddy current? When a bulk matter of conductor, when a bulk matter of conductor subjected to change in magnetic flux, so current induces like eddies in water, known as that current known as eddy current, Okay, Nara? Definition okay na? So what we needed to consider? We need to consider a bulk conductor, a conductor not in the form of loop, a complete plate, metal plate. I can take the example for bulk conductor. When such conductor is made to change, it will undergo will subject it to change in magnetic flux. The current will be induces like eddies in a water. Such a current is also called as, first thing is you should get it the point clearly what is eddies. The meaning of eddy like a, so pooling, wheeling in a particular path. So that is called as whirlpool, or that is also called as eddies. Such a current is called as eddy current. So that is Foucault discovered this. That's why this current is also called as eddy current. Now in this experiment, so actually because of this eddy current, actually what happened, whenever this copper plate is started oscillating between the magnetic poles, the oscillations will become damped oscillations. So why they will become damped oscillation means, so why it is damped oscillations means, so what happened, when it is started oscillating, then flux linked with the coil, this plate is going to be changes, then eddy currents will be induces. Eddy currents are nothing but that induced current only. That induced current name only called as eddy current. So this eddy currents, induced currents, direction will be in a direction opposite to the cause. According to Lenz's law, the direction of the eddy current or the direction of the till now we called the induced current, but now the name is eddy current. The direction of this eddy current will be in a direction opposite to the cause of it. So what is the cause here? Why magnetic field is changing? Because of the oscillating this plate. So then what happened? The eddy current will oppose the oscillation, then finally the plate will come to rest position. The reason for the plate to come to rest position is what? So that because of developed induced current will opposes the cause according to the Lenz's law, and finally it will come to rest. Even experimentally also you can, so you can perform this experiment, you can verify whether it is right or wrong, whether it is happening or not, so that you can confirm this. So this is for eddy current definition. Now because of this eddy current, some advantages also there, some disadvantages also there. So first shall we discuss regarding what are the disadvantages. So disadvantages of which current? So eddy's current. Eddy's current. Main disadvantages what? So because of this eddy current, some unnecessary heat will be generated. That unnecessary heat generated will cause us to change the operating conditions, especially while using a transformer. In a transformer, there is a continuous change in the current. AC current will be continuously changes, both in magnitude and direction. Flux linked with the transformer. Regarding the transformer, you will come to know. So transformer will have a core on which coils are wounded. So when current is allowed to pass across one coil, EMF will develop across another coil. Especially in transformer, what happens? Continuous change in the magnetic field, induced current will generate, eddy current will generate. That eddy current so will produce unnecessary heat. The supplied voltage will be liberated, so in the form of heat. Electricity, so power will be dissipated in the form of heat. So that is the main drawback of which one? No, eddy current. Already we know that whenever current is there, induced current is there, total so not generated induced current. Some part of the work done will be stored in the form of induced current, some part will be liberated in the form of heat. So what happened? Main advantage, so heat will be liberated. So heat will be liberated, which causes what happened? So that voltage or its efficiency of the device will be decreases. So that is the main drawback of this eddy current. Are you getting around? So where you will get this drawback means, especially in transformers. In transformers, so heat will be generated. That's why many times, so transformers will be burnt, will be burst out because of the excess heat. That heat is generated because of this eddy current only. Then how can we minimize the effect of this eddy current? So methods to minimize the eddy current. So mainly, in order to minimize the eddy current, the second point is methods to reduce the eddy current. So in order to methods, mainly we will use two methods. The first one is, so we will make by making the slots. How can we make the slot? Means generally this is our plate. If I consider complete bulk plate, then what happen? Charge carriers will get more path, less path. So in order to move, generally the magnetic moment of a coil will be given by I into E. The magnetic moment is directly proportional to area. If the area available for the flow of current is more, magnetic moment is more. Whenever magnetic moment is more, magnetic flux change will be more. When magnetic flux change will be more, eddy current will be more. So this eddy current can be minimized by making the slots. So we will cut the plate into the slots like this. Because of the making the slots, what happen? Effective area of the coil will be decreases. Charge particles should travel longer distance. So due to that reason, what happen? So area will be reduces, magnetic moment will be reduced, and effect of eddy current will be reduced. Are you getting around? This is the one method. And the second one is lamination. So instead of taking a one bulk sheet, what we will take? We'll take the number of sheets. So number of thin sheets. So the thin sheets are laminated by using some material. So some insulating material, they will be laminated. So they will be laminated in a plane along the direction of the magnetic field. Now what happen? So one plate is insulated from another plate. So that's why what happen? So charges effective area will be decreases. Due to this, what happen? Eddy current effect will be minimized. These are the two main methods we will use for reducing the eddy current effect. So eddy current can be minimized by making the slots. Eddy current can be minimized by laminating the metal sheet. Instead of taking the single sheet, the number of thin sheets will be taken. They will attach it by a insulating material. So they will be laminated in a plane. So along the plane of magnetic field. Then in this case also, what happened to eddy current will be minimized. So this is the main methods we will use in order to reduce the eddy currents. And because of this eddy current, we have some advantages also there. What are the uses or advantages of eddy current or applications of eddy current? Can I write advantages, or better I will call applications? Applications of eddy current. Applications of which current? Eddy current applications. Important one. Even this question also can be asked directly for 3 marks. So what are the applications of eddy current are given by the first application. So by using, it is used in magnetic brakes. Magnetic trains will be there now. In that magnetic trains, magnetic brakes, not brains, it is brakes. Magnetic brakes will be applied by the principle of eddy current only. So in this, what happen? A rail will be there now generally. So wheel is there. So what they will do? They will attach one electromagnet to this wheel. Electromagnet. What is the meaning of electromagnet? There are many methods are there in order to produce the magnet. By sending the current also, you can produce the magnetic field. So electromagnet is attached. When electromagnet is attached, whenever this electromagnet is activated, so rail is there na, it is a bulk conductor. So then what happen? Because it is rotating, the magnetic flux linked with so because of electromagnet is attached to this rail. Now what happen? When you activate this electromagnet, flux linked with the rail is going to be changes. Due to change in the flux linked with the rail, an induced EMF and induced current will develop. That induced current will be in a direction opposite to the cause according to the Lenz's law. So then what happen? The induced current will stop the wheel to rotate and train will be stopped. So this process will take place very quickly. So in a magnetic brakes, though they are going with a speed of 500 kilometers per hour, 1000 kilometers per hour, even by pressing a button, immediately you can stop that train. So that is the main application of which one? Eddy current. Eddy currents are used in magnetic brakes. So second application for this eddy current, it is used in deadbeat galvanometer. So deadbeat galvanometer. Deadbeat galvanometer. Generally we know galvanometer, what will be there? So galvanometer will have one coil will be there. That coil will be placed between the magnetic poles, that you know that na, and one pointer is attached. The pointer is moving on a scale. Generally if we made that coil with a non-magnetic material, so actually what happen, whenever this coil, so what happen, if this frame is made up of non-magnetic material, so you know that whenever current is passing through the galvanometer will start to turn. So that is whenever a current carrying conductor, current carrying loop placed in a magnetic field will experience a torque. Because of the torque, what happen, so the coil will rotate. With what angle it rotated, that can be detected by using the pointer. But when coil rotated, what happen, flux linked with the coil will be changes. When flux linked with the coil will be changes, what happen, an induced EMF will develop. That induced EMF will be in a what direction develop? In a direction opposite to the cause. What is the cause here? Rotation of this coil. Then because of that induced current or induced EMF, the coil will come back to its initial position immediately. When you made the coil with a non-magnetic material, the dead beat galvanometer, after showing the deflection, then immediately it will come back to its zero indication. Are you getting Ara? If it is not a non-magnetic material, so the deflection will continue for a long time. The pointer will move right or left, so you will not get a perfect reading. The perfect reading can be obtained by using a deadbeat galvanometer. In this deadbeat galvanometer, the pointer will come to rest position. So because of which one? Because of the concept of eddy current only. So this is the second application for this eddy current. And what is the third application for this eddy current? Dukinara? Are you getting? So what about for the third application for this eddy current? It is used in induction furnace. The main third application is it is used in induction furnace. Induction furnace is a setup in order to prepare the alloys by melting the suitable metals. Generally you know that for metals to melt we needed high temperature, is order of 1000 Kelvin, that much temperature normally to produce in a room is difficult. So generally what they will use is they will use some metals, one compound metal, within which they will put the required material which is to be melted. Now what they will do, so this metal is allowed to change, allowed to go, so magnetic change in magnetic field. It is placed in external, strong, powerful, time varying magnetic field. Because of the time varying magnetic field, flux linked with this metal, this furnace is going to be changed, which causes to develop induced EMF and induced current. Because of that high induced current, then what happens? So high temperature will be generated. That high temperature will be utilized for melting our required metal to prepare the alloys. So this is also one of the application of this. So eddy current. Induction furnace will works on the principle of which one? Eddy current. After completion of this, the fourth application is in electric power meters. In electric power meters. So in electric power meters, you know that one color disc will be there. Can you see here? In electric power meter, one circular disc, circular disc will be there. Number of rotations you can count, the number of units you can count based on the number of rotation. The rotation of the circular disc in this electric power meters is because of eddy current only. Actually what happens? So our supplied current is alternating current, which continuously changes. Because of the change of the current continuously, the magnetic field linked with this loop is going to be changes continuously. Because of the change in the magnetic field linked with the loop, what happens? Induced EMF and induced current will be generated. But current is placed in external uniform magnetic field. So here this is our circular disc. First circular disc is not rotating. When current is passing, flux is changing. So induced current will develop. That induced current passing in circular disc. That current carrying loop was there in external magnetic field. So due to that reason, the circular disc will start to rotate. The number of units are how you will get the electric bill based on the number of units. So number of units, how can they count by using that electric meter? By using this number of rotations only. The circular disc completed how many rotations? So that is important. In this way, it is used in electric power meters. If the question given for 2 marks, write down the applications of eddy current, you write only side readings. So it is used in magnetic brakes, it is used in deadbeat galvanometer, it is used in induction furnace, it is used in electric power meters. But if the question given for 3 marks, you need to explain how magnetic brakes will be applied, how deadbeat galvanometer uses the eddy current, what is induction furnace, and how in electric power meters eddy current is applicable. So this is the concept of which one? No? Eddy current. What is the meaning of eddies? Like whirlpools of water. So when eddy current will be generated? Whenever a bulk matter of conductor, so bulk matter of conductor subjected to change in magnetic flux, the current induces like eddies in a water, that current only called as eddy current. What is eddy current and what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages of eddy current, what are the methods to reduce the eddy current, and what are the applications of eddy current. So this is the information regarding which one? No? Eddy's current. Understood, Ara? Next, after completion of this eddy current, so next we will discuss regarding inductance and mutual inductance. So what is inductance and what is mutual inductance? That is we will discuss. For this class, what is inductance? Inductance. Symbol I will write later. So what is inductance? So you take the example, which one? Coil and coil experiment. One coil connected to galvanometer and another coil is connected to battery. Okay, Nara? This is C1 and this is C2. Actually what happened? Now for example, both the coils are fixed. So here one plug key also there. This is the third experiment what we discussed. So Faraday and Henry. Now what happened? So when I close the plug key, the current in C2 increases from 0 to maximum. When there is a change in current, so that magnetic field linked with C2 is coupled with C1. So whenever current in C2 changes, the magnetic flux linked with the C2, hence linked with the C1 also changes. Now actually the flux linked with the C1, can I call Phi1? The flux linked with the first coil is directly proportional to what factors? When flux will be more, when flux will be less. If more current is passing in C2, so flux linked with the C1 is more. When less current is passing through C2, the flux linked with the C1 is less. So what we know that the flux linked with the one coil, can I call this coil name is primary coil and this coil name is secondary coil. The flux linked with the primary coil is directly proportional to current passing through secondary coil. So to remove this, we will get one constant. So Phi1 value is equal to some constant into I2. That constant name only called as inductance. So what is inductance? It is a one proportionality constant. Okay, Nara? So what is that? It is a one proportionality constant. So regarding that is called as what? Inductance. That proportionality constant value, so that inductance value is equal to, if I want to define the inductance, so inductance is equal to flux divided by current. Inductance is the ratio between the flux linked with the coil, flux linked with the primary coil divided by current passing through secondary coil. Which one? Current passing through secondary coil. I have not written the symbol for the inductance. So actually in inductance there are two methods are there. So one is the self inductance, other is the mutual inductance. First we will discuss regarding the mutual inductance as per your NCERT syllabus. Then we will discuss regarding the self inductance. So let it be a mutual inductance or self inductance, because of now here actually the inductance, or it is here what is a particular name I will call. So mutual inductance. Mutual inductance. Better I will write here only the Phi1 value is equal to M12 into I2, so which is where M12 is the mutual is the mutual inductance of C1 with respect to C2. With respect to which one? C2. Or mutual inductance of primary coil with respect to secondary coil. What is M12? Is a proportionality constant. Which one? It is a one proportionality constant. So what is this mutual inductance definition? Mutual inductance can be defined as, so it is the ratio of flux linked with the primary coil to the current passing through which coil? Secondary coil. So what is the definition for the mutual inductance? Can I write? So mutual inductance M12, the mutual inductance of this first coil with respect to second coil is the ratio of, so which one? It is the ratio of flux linked with the primary coil to current passing through secondary coil. The simple one we can also write it as flux is equal to M into I, capital M into I, then M is equal to, so capital M value is equal to flux divided by I. The flux by current is called as what? A mutual inductance. So on what factors this mutual inductance of a coil will depends, we will come to know. So what is the SI unit of this mutual inductance? SI units are given by what? What is the SI unit of flux? Flux SI unit is given by Weber divided by ampere. So what is the SI unit of this one? SI unit of magnetic field induction is current is ampere. So Weber divided by ampere is the SI unit. Okay, Nara? Which can be also written as, even flux can be also written as magnetic flux. It has one particular name also there. So that is given by this Weber by ampere is also called as Henry. The another name here is Henry. Okay, Nara? When mutual inductance is said to be 1 Henry, if I want to define the definition of Henry, whenever a flux linked with a coil is 1 Weber, due to the passage of current in another coil is, so 1 ampere, then flux is said to be, then mutual inductance is said to be 1 Henry. So that is the definition of which one? Mutual inductance. Even this mutual inductance can be also defined according to Faraday law. According to the Faraday's second law, according to which law? Faraday's second law. So E is equal to d phi by dt. I have not written the minus sign. So E is equal to d by dt of phi value m into, so I, which can be also written as, what can I write? E is equal to m into, so di by dt, or which can be also written as m is equal to E divided by di by dt. Okay, Nara? This is one more definition. If di by dt is equal to 1 ampere per second, then m value is equal to E. This is one definition. And one more definition here, whenever, here what I written, phi is equal to m into I. If I is equal to 1 ampere, then m value equal to phi. So there are two definitions you can define mutual inductance. It is also called as coefficient of mutual inductance, or simply also called as mutual inductance. Like a capacitance, this is inductance, mutual inductance. So mutual inductance is numerically equal to flux linked with a coil when a current of 1 ampere passing through another coil. What is the flux linked with C1? When a current of 1 ampere passing through C2, that flux value numerically equal to mutual inductance. Or otherwise, if di by dt is equal to 1 ampere per second, if the current rate of change of current in C2 is 1 ampere per second, then what is the induced EMF developed in C1? That is numerically equal to which one? Mutual inductance. Till now what we discussed, that is only the definition of mutual inductance. So let us see once again. So whenever two coils are there, the flux linked with the one coil directly proportional to current passing through another coil. To remove the proportionality, we introduced one constant. That constant is called as coefficient of mutual inductance, or simply mutual inductance of first coil with respect to second coil. So this mutual inductance is the ratio between flux linked with the coil to current passing through another coil. Mutual inductance value numerically equal to flux linked with a coil when a current of 1 ampere passing through another coil. Mutual inductance can be also defined as, it is numerically equal to induced EMF developed in the coil due to the rate of change of current of 1 ampere per second, 1 unit per second in another coil. So mutual inductance SI unit is given by Weber by ampere, is also called as Henry. Mutual inductance is said to be 1 Henry whenever current passing through, whenever, if due to the passage of 1 ampere current, if 1 Weber, flux is linked with the coil, then the mutual inductance of the coil is said to be 1 Henry. The last point is, what is the dimensional formula for mutual inductance? So dimensional formula to write mutual inductance is equal to flux divided by current. So flux is nothing but B into A divided by I. So B nothing but force by area. Even already we written the dimensional formula for B. So what is B? F by M. So F divided by A into M into I. Force dimensional formula ml square, the dimensional formula of force. Here I will write this side. Okay. What is the mutual inductance? The dimensional formula. The dimensional formula for mutual inductance can be defined. Any formula you can take. Can you take M is equal to E divided by di by dt, which can be written as M is equal to E into dt divided by dA. Electromotive force, work done by charge, into dt divided by dI. So what I will get? Work done dimensional formula ml square t power minus 2 into time dimensional formula t by charge dimensional formula A into t into current dimensional formula A. So finally what I will get? The dimensional formula of M. The dimensional formula of mutual inductance is given by which one? M L square and t power, this t cancel, t power minus 2 and a power minus 2, because many times asked question for mutual inductance dimensional formula, the dimensional formula of mutual inductance. Okay Nara? It is a proportionality constant which will measure how much induced EMF will develop in a coil or how much flux linked with the coil. Understood Ara? So this is the definition of mutual inductance. Now last topic we'll discuss is expression for coefficient of mutual inductance of two long coaxial solenoids. Okay, very important question for 3 marks. So what is this question is, expression for mutual inductance or coefficient of mutual inductance of a two long coaxial solenoids, So very important derivation for 3 marks. So last topic for this class. Okay Nara? So let me consider two long coaxial solenoids. Okay Nara? Yeah, this is one, this is one. So solenoid in the sense number of turns will be there. This is the inner solenoid. Can I call this inner solenoid name is S1 and this is the outer solenoid. two solenoids of length value will be same and the axis will be same because both are coaxial, same axis. The inner one is S1, outer one is S2. The current is carried by both. The current passing through outer one is I2. The current passing through inner one is I1. The radius of outer one is R2 and the radius of the inner one is R1. And the number of turns per unit length of, so number of turns per unit length of S1 is N1. Total number of turns of S1 is N1, which is equal to N1 into L. Similarly, the number of turns per unit length of S2 is N2, then the total number of turns of S2, can I call it as capital N2, will be equal to N2 into L. First, what you need to write, let us consider two long coaxial solenoids S1 and S2 such that R1 is the radius of S1, R2 is the radius of S2, I1 is the current passing through S1 and I2 is the current passing through S2. First, let me consider, so what is current is carried by S2. Because of the current passing through S2, so what is the flux linked with the S1? I want to calculate. Which one? What is the flux linked with the S1? I want to calculate. The total flux linked with which one? Linked with the S1 due to current passing through current I2 through S2. How much flux will be there? So flux, total flux given by N into phi 1 or N1 into phi 1. N1 into which one? No? Phi 1. Now we can calculate the flux in two methods. The general formula for the flux is, actually this flux is directly proportional to current passing through second coil. So then N1 into phi 1 is equal to M12 into I2, where M12 is the coefficient of which one? Coefficient of mutual inductance of which one? Mutual inductance of S1 with respect to S2. It is a proportionality constant which is called as coefficient of mutual inductance of S1 with respect to S2. Can I call it as equation 1? First, which one carrying the current? Let me call S2 carrying the current. Due to the carrying of current S2, the flux linked with S1 directly proportional to current passing through S2. So which is N into phi 1 value given by M12 into I2, where M12 is the coefficient of mutual inductance of S1 with respect to S2. Till now you need to note down. First, diagram should be drawn right corner, then description for the diagram, considering the two coils S1 and S2 having number of turns N1, capital N1 and N2, carrying the current I1 and I2, radius value R1 and R2, okay, and total number of turns capital N1 and N2. Then due to the passage of current across S2, then I calculated what is the, here I don't have the space, that's why I am rubbing, but we know that what is the formula for the flux. So the total flux linked with S1 will be equal to, it is the dot product of which one? N1 into, so B bar, B2 bar dot A1 bar. Actually, you know, N1 as it is, total number of turns. Total number of turns can be also written small n1 into L. So flux is the dot product of magnetic field induction and area vector. So magnetic field induction because of which one? By current carried by S2. Now we consider solenoid is a long solenoid. When we consider a solenoid is long, very large, compare with the radius, the magnetic field everywhere can be considered nearly constant. B bar, B2 bar dot A1 bar, where A1 bar is the which one? And direction of the magnetic field. So magnetic field direction due to a solenoid is along the axis. If I draw a normal to the coil, that is also along the direction of B. So what is B value? Mu naught into, so N2 into which one? Mu naught into N into I2 into area value given by pi into R1 square. This point should be get it clearly. I written N1 value total number of turns small n1 into L. What is the magnetic field produced? What is the magnetic field produced due to the S2 carrying a current I2? Magnetic field due to a solenoid, inside formula mu naught into N2 into I2 into pi into R1 square, which is given by mu naught into N1 into N2 into pi into R1 square into L into I2. Understood, Anna? So this is the total magnetic flux linked with which one? S1. We calculated this total magnetic flux. So according to inductance definition. Now we calculated this total magnetic flux according to the definition of the magnetic flux. So this is equation 2. By comparing equation 1 and 2. Comparing which one? So comparing equations 1 and 2. Equations 1 and 2. Then what I will get? So right side is same. LHS if I compare, so what I will get? M12 value is equal to mu naught into N1 into N2 into pi into R1 square into L. So this is the expression for mutual inductance. Mutual inductance of which coil? Mutual inductance of S1 with respect to S2. So mutual inductance value depends upon the medium between the coils. It depends upon the number of turns and per unit length, and it depends upon the radius, and it depends upon the length. So mutual inductance of a coil depends upon the geometry of the coils. Mutual inductance value depends upon the medium between the coils. So mutual inductance value depends upon the number of turns per unit length. Now what I calculated, that is mutual inductance of which coil? Second coil S1 with respect to which coil? With respect to S2. Understood, Ara? Similarly, I can also calculate the mutual inductance. This is one part is completed. If the question given for 5 marks, 3 marks, directly you can write. So similarly, the mutual inductance of the second coil with respect to first coil also will get mu naught into N1 into N2 into pi into R1 square into L. But remember, in both the formulas we will get radius value R1 only. When you calculating the mutual inductance, you need to take the effective area which is common for both. The area which is common for both is pi into R1 square. That's why in both the cases we need to write pi into R1 square only. This is how to calculate the mutual inductance. Once again, if we see, now I calculated mutual inductance of S1 with respect to S2. If you know, so we can also calculate the mutual inductance of S2 with respect to S1. Shall we see how to calculate that also? But remember, here I am calculating only for the solenoid. But in objective point of view, you need to calculate mutual inductance of different shapes. That you need to remember. How to calculate the mutual inductance, you get it clearly. Now to calculate the mutual inductance of S2 with respect to S1, the total flux linked with the S2 due to the current I1 through S1. The total flux value given by N2 into phi2 is directly proportional to phi1. This time let us suppose, consider in the S1 is carrying a current I1, the flux linked with S2 given by this. Then N2 into phi2 value given by, this is M21 into I1. What is M21? M21 is the coefficient of mutual inductance of S2 with respect to S1. Okay, Nara? Then, but we know that the total flux N2 into phi 2 will be equal to, this is N2 as it is. This time magnetic field is produced by S1, B1 into A1. Why should I consider A1? Area, so A1 is common for both. No need of considering the area of S2. Though S2 having area, total area, only pi R1 square area flux only changes. That's why pi into R1 square. Then N2 value, so small n2 into L, mu naught into, what is the magnetic field due to a solenoid S1 carrying a current I1, mu naught into N1 into I1, area pi R1 square. Finally I will get mu naught into N1 into N2 into pi into R square into, so L into I1. Comparing equation 1 and 2, I will get M21 value, which is mu naught into N1 into N2 into pi into, so R1 square into L. So what does it mean? M12 value and M21 value same or not? Same. So therefore I can write the coefficient of mutual inductance of two long coaxial solenoids are given by mu naught into N1 into N2 into, so pi into R square or R1 square into L, where small r is there, effective area of the coil, effective or radius, the radius which is common for both. Are you getting Ara? This is how to calculate the mutual inductance. So mutual inductance of two coaxial coils depends upon medium between the coils, depends upon number of turns per unit length, depends upon, so geometry of the coil, length and area. So this is regarding mutual inductance. In the next class we will discuss regarding the self inductance. So this expression is very important. 5 marks given means both you need to derive. Only 3 marks given means one derivation is enough. Maximum they won't give you 5 marks, one derivation enough. This is for mutual inductance. Okay na? So thank you.